If you're a football fan old enough to remember, you know the play. It was September 25th, 2006, week 3 of the NFL season, Monday Night Football. The Saints' first game back in the Superdome after Hurricane Katrina. Just a few minutes in, our special teams stalwart and leader, Steve Gleason, blocked the Falcons' punt. It was returned for a touchdown, spearheading a win that is as memorable as any game in history, and making Steve Gleason a legend in New Orleans forever. When I think about Steve as a teammate and a friend, I think of a guy who's always taken the idea of living to the next level. Steve has always been interested in having a deeper conversation, going on a bigger adventure, finding ways to experience the wonders of the world in every possible way. Always curious to explore both the seen and the unseen of human emotion and connection, experiencing plenty of fear along the way, but never shying away from challenging himself and those around him. That's what made it so devastating when Steve was diagnosed with ALS, a disease with a terminal diagnosis that leaves you a prisoner in your own body. But if you know anything about Steve, you know he has always been determined to write his own story and live to be 109. It would be a lie to say the years since his 2010 diagnosis haven't been difficult. Steve wouldn't want me to claim otherwise. But through it all, he's never given in, never stopped fighting, no white flags, and never stopped finding ways to inspire, impact, and write his own story.
Steve Gleason is still here. 13 and a half years after he was diagnosed with ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis.
Dr. Robert Miller delivered the news on January 5th, 2011. He told me that I had 3 to 5 years to live.
Picked up by Steve Gleason. Touchdown, New Orleans.
My temple, the body that carried me to the highest level of competitive athletics, would wither and die in the next few years, while I was powerless to change the diagnosis. The one thing that I did seem to control was my attitude, my mindset.
He's still here, a man who continues to find so much meaning in life, despite everything life has handed him.
Good morning, Rivers and Gray and Young Mama. It's the freaking weekend, baby. And what about this? What if we can be grateful for the challenges life brings us? I'm so proud of you. I love you all. Photo phone.
My dad can't hug me, so it's basically like putting my forehead on his forehead, locking eye contact, and just like his version of hugging.
Both kids just know that he is their constant and he is there and he loves them, and that is the most important thing I think you can ask for.
He begins each day like this, connecting as closely as he can with those closest to him. And then he goes about the hard work of living.
Mornings usually consist of meditating, and then our caregivers start the morning routine, which he calls the morning workout. And they stretch him, and then they shower him, and then get him situated in his chair.
Although I face daunting challenges that threaten to break me every single day, I am motivated by the idea that my experience can help provide inspiration to others.
It's another part of the mission that is his life, the work of Team Gleason, the foundation dedicated to helping others with ALS live as full a life as they can, providing everything from technology, equipment, and services to priceless experiences and adventures.
For Steve to attack this the way he did, it really does open up and show you how courageous and how intelligent and how caring and thoughtful he is as a human being.
Steve being Steve, he decides to try to find ways to be proactive and not only help himself, but help others. So the idea of getting technology to people that are in need of it, giving the people voices back that lost their voice.
Technology is our main thing. We want to help people with the disease who are living with it now. At this point, we are helping 700 people a month and have raised $40 million and trying to raise more and more.
Through Team Gleason, I have been able to serve and impact far more lives than I ever did on the football field.
Nice to see you. And thank you for your help.
We have heard countless times, thank God that we have y'all, because this is such a scary space to be in, and we feel so comforted to have people who understand and help.
He's such a beacon of hope. He's such a light in this world. I'm going to take this death sentence, as some would say, and I'm going to find a way to make the rest of my life even greater and even more purposeful than the first part of my life.
If it seems like ALS has taken away everything physically, the sad reality is there's more to lose. The muscles in Steve's eyes are beginning to fail, meaning communication could soon no longer be possible.
His eyes are starting to weaken. His ability to smile is starting to weaken. That's his whole life right now.
Once you lose the ability to communicate, you have to have a really strong, greater purpose in life to keep going.
For 13 and a half years now, he's stayed connected to that sense of purpose, that belief in the power of life. And today, Steve Gleason is still here, breathing, loving, living one improbable day at a time.
Yes, I understand that every life must end. As we sit alone, I know someday we must go on. Stay with me. Let's just breathe.
Living through ALS, I love that he always wants to be with us and helping other people, even when it's hard.
Courage is continuing to push forward in the face of fear. You can't tell me that Steve hasn't felt fear during this. And yet it's that courage to push through and to know that your purpose is far greater. The impact you're making is far greater than you could ever imagine. That epitomizes Steve.
I'm learning to unconditionally accept life circumstances. I'm here to love my kids Rivers and Gray and my wife Michelle unconditionally, and then share that same love with the world. Thanks, Drew. I love you. Hi there, everyone. Hi, Gray and Mama, and thanks for your help, Rivers. This award, the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage, is a sublime honor for me, and I always love the opportunity to wear my tuxedo. Arthur Ashe exemplified courage as living with an open heart of humility, kindness, and generosity, which united humanity. So to receive this award is amazing. When I learned I was receiving this award, I started reflecting on what that word, courage, means. To be courageous, we must first experience loneliness, unworthiness, or any of the faces of fear. I was told I would have 3 years to live when I was diagnosed with ALS in 2011, so I've got the wilderness of fear tattooed all over me. For me, this honor represents some encouragement and triumph for the families currently living with ALS, all the people living with disabilities or other illnesses, and all of you who experience fear or suffering. I suppose if you have never experienced fear, isolation, or suffering, you can roll your sanctified ass right out of here. The truth is, no human is immune from fear or adversity, not even super athletes, royal princes, or the most holy saints. Considering this truth of our humanity, it's vital that we all, individually and collectively, discover ways to be courageous and love the life we have. My view is that the fears and adversities we encounter are our opportunity to accept what is and explore what is on the other side of fear, to grow stronger, better, and have peace of mind. From this perspective, resiliently moving through the adversities life brings us is our purpose in being human. It's clear to me that our ability to courageously share our vulnerabilities with each other is our greatest strength. By doing this, we're able to understand the issue, compassionately collaborate with each other to solve problems, and overcome fear. Without the understanding and compassionate support from my family, community, and caregivers, I'd have been dead years ago. Through this lens, you can see we're all in this together. We are all citizens of the world. Given our interconnectedness, the greatest aspect of our purpose is to generously help, serve, and love others. Do we have the courage to unconditionally love our neighbors, our so-called enemies, and love ourselves? I don't think anyone will disagree that we face enormous challenges in the 21st century. If we can courageously share our fears and limitations with each other and compassionately collaborate to solve problems, our human potential is boundless. If we can listen, understand, and help alleviate each other's suffering, then truly all things are possible. Thank you again for this incredible honor. I love y'all.